through indemnity. And in human history, God raised the chosen people of Israel. We can see this through their history. The chosen people. To the chosen people, there is a portion of responsibility. There are duties that are expected. However, when we look at the final outcome, the chosen people of Israel cannot be seen as having fulfilled their full portion of responsibility. How is it possible that through the 4,000-year history of the providence of restoration, in particular, when we look at the providence of Canaan centering on Moses,
5분의 3밖에 안 되는 사막을
when we look at
거치는 데 있어서
a piece of land that is about 3/5 the area of Korea, how is it possible that the people of Israel were in the desert for over 40 years? God and heaven guided the people of Israel out of Egypt through a pillar of cloud and a pillar of fire. However, at the very end, the Savior that the people of Israel so desperately yearned for, the Savior came on the earth as the only begotten Son, and Jesus Christ was the Savior. However, the people of Israel, what did they do? They did not embrace Jesus, who had no choice but to walk the path of the cross. And having nowhere to stand, Jesus laid on the cross. And standing there, having failed to fulfill the purpose of his advent, Jesus prophesied that he would come again, to host the marriage wedding of the Lamb. Hence, the people of Israel who did not fulfill their responsibility were faced with a tremendous indemnity. I'm sure you're aware of the tremendous indemnity they paid. For the past 2,000 years, they were persecuted as a people without a nation to call their own. During World War II, more than 6 million innocent Jews were mercilessly massacred. Why was the indemnity to be paid so heavy? It is because the chosen people has a responsibility and a duty to fulfill. Heaven created human beings in the image of God. God created heaven and earth in his image. Hence, since the only begotten Son was born, the only begotten daughter should be born as well. However, the only begotten daughter could not come through the people of Israel because the second coming would take place through another people, and the portion of indemnity to be paid remained. In conclusion, through the people of Korea, in 1943, the only begotten daughter was born. When the only begotten daughter was born, the time of My
어려운
birth was one of the most miserable and difficult periods in the history of Korea.
1945년에 해방이
In
되었고
1945, the Korean peninsula was liberated. However, in
남북이
1950,
갈린 상태에서
the Korean peninsula was divided into the north and south,
남한
and
정부는
the South Korean
이를
government
상대할 수 있는
was not
힘이
ready
없을
to
때였습니다.
defend itself against
그런데
the
어떻게
North Korean invasion.
유엔의
However,
16개국이
how is it
참전한
possible that
이
16 UN
남한의
member states
민주주의를
came to
지켜줄
defend
수 있었을까요?
democracy in South Korea?
인간의 힘이 아닙니다.
This was not the work of human beings.
하늘이
Heaven
함께 하셨기 때문입니다.
was protecting the Korean peninsula.
그렇다면
Hence,
이 민족은
this people of
독생년을
Korea,
탄생시킨 민족으로서
as a people where the only begotten daughter was born, the people of Korea are the chosen people.
여기에서 우리는
We
심각하게
need to
과거의
seriously
내 입장을
reflect on
기억해야 되겠습니다.
what the identity of being the chosen people entails. The chosen people
지상에 태어난 독생자와
have the
독생녀와 하나님을
responsibility of uniting as one with the only begotten Son and only begotten daughter and work together with the true parents to realize Heavenly Parents' ideal of creation. That is the duty of the chosen people.
코로나로 인해서
Due to the corona pandemic,
모든 나라들이
all the nations around the world
서로
are
통제하고
taking strong containment measures,
국경선을 더 봉쇄하고 있습니다.
and frontiers are being closed.
이런 상태로
In these circumstances,
나아간다면은
if we continue along this path,
미래에 희망은 없습니다.
there can be no hope for the future.
현재 살고 있는 우리
We who live at this present moment,
축복
we
가정들의
blessed families who follow true parents, we have a very important portion of responsibility to fulfill at this moment.
인간의 무지로 인해서
Due to the ignorance of human beings,
지구가 몸살을 앓고
the earth
말했습니다.
is ailing. I mentioned that before.
문명의 발달과 과학의
And
발달은
through the development of civilizations and the advances of science,
잃어버리는 자리에
human beings stand in a position where they have lost the balance between seeking internal meaning and material comfort.
생명체가 살수 있는
At this present moment,
좁혀가고 있습니다.
the spaces available for proper stewardship of creation, for creation to flourish, are diminishing.
미래를
We need to worry about the legacy, the earth we will bequeath to second and third generations, to posterity.
수는 없습니다.
We can no longer delay what is expected of us.
동안에
While I am alive on this earth,
전 세계의 축복 가정들은
all blessed families around the world
참 부모가 만들어 놓은 환경권을
should work
적극
to expand and also promote the environment that true parents have created on this earth
노력하면서
and make tireless
더
efforts
크게 넓게
to expand wider, deeper, higher.
본래
The environment that God the Creator originally wished to give us as the Heavenly Parent.
꿈은
Heavenly Parent's dream is to live in communion with human beings on this earth, to live in the kingdom of heaven on earth. This is Heavenly Parent's dream.
교육해
We needed to educate and inform humanity about Heavenly Parent's original dream. This is the only way that we can correct
지구상에
the
이르는
course of history that has gone astray. This is how we can solve the various problems happening around the world. The only way to correct the course of a humanity gone astray is to guide all of humanity back into Heavenly Parent's holy community and follow the words that our true parents have given us.
특히
In particular,
이 한민족은
the people of Korea
2000년간
for 2,000 years haven't
나온 민족
embraced and raised the people of Korea.
한 번도 이웃 나라를
Korea
하지 않았어.
never has not once invaded another nation. Korea's history is one of
하늘을
continuous suffering from foreign invasions.
부모에게
But the Korean people were characterized by a tradition of revering heaven, of educating families and children on filial piety and respect for heaven's principles. However, when we look at the world today, the people of Korea, as a chosen nation, should unite as one with true parents and show the world that the chosen people of Korea can become the heavenly unified Korea. That day of proclaiming the heavenly unified Korea before the world must come.
나는 누누이 말했어.
I have repeated myself several times.
이 코로나 대확산
The pandemic, corona pandemic, and all of these natural calamities cannot be solved with human efforts alone.
천연두만
As far as I know, even in the case of smallpox, it took several centuries before a smallpox vaccine was developed.
하늘이
Heaven is with us, and if we live for the sake of heaven, support heaven's will and heaven's providence, then
성공적으로
we will have a victorious outcome.
오늘날
Today,
이 나라의 정치
politicians of Korea
사람들은
and all leaders from all walks of life in this nation
알아야 합니다.
must be aware of heaven's providence. They need to be able to fear heaven. They need to fear the fact that they are part of the chosen nation and they have a duty, a responsibility before heaven. And that responsibility consists of attending Heavenly Parent as humanity's original parent.
So slow.
그 길로 나가는 데 있어서
In order to walk
전
this
세계
path victoriously, all of the members of the unification community worldwide,
나라의
all of you in your respective nations,
최고의
please become the best you can
정상연합과
to get working
연합을
in
통해서
through ISCP, through IAPP,
인류 앞에
and bring forward
하늘 부모님을
the day when all of humanity can attend Heavenly Parent as the parent of humanity. This is the only way there can be hope for the future. Please proclaim this courageously in all of your respective nations.
다시 한번 말하고
Once again, I would like to repeat myself.
가정에
Blessed families in Korea, your responsibility is particularly important. It is through you that the people of Korea can continue receiving heaven's blessings.
그렇지 않으면은
Otherwise,
역사에
please understand that you will fall by the wayside, be forgotten in history, become a dark chapter in providential history. Please understand that you stand at a serious turning point. Yes, as we celebrate the 8th anniversary of the Father's ascension, True Mother has given us a special message about Heavenly Parents' Holy Community and emphasized the role of Korea as the chosen nation. Let us give another big round of applause to our beloved True Mother for her special address. Next, we will now have the offering of gifts.